Chris Sale's ex is done staying silent. She's coming forward claiming not only did he steal money from her, but that he's been living a double life on the DL. She's dropping receipts, and social media is losing it. And before we jump into the video, let's get this disclaimer in. Chanelalyzing Spilt Tea is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. We encourage viewers to form their own opinions and approach all content with an open but critical mind. While we aim to keep things light, engaging, and respectful, this channel does not intend to defame, insult, or harm anyone personally or professionally. All names, trademarks, and media belong to their respective owners. Sip responsibly, spill kindly, and remember, tea cools, but receipts last forever. Now let's get to it.
Hey guys, so here is the long-awaited video that y'all have all been waiting for. So basically, I was involved with a influencer or funny comedian, whatever you want to call him, Christopher Sales, okay? Him. So I got involved with him like June 20. I moved down here June 15th of 2024, and you know that's where we met for the first time. I had been talking to him on the internet for like a couple months or whatever the case may be, and then I ended up telling him I was moving to Houston, and he offered to let me come stay with him, and I was like, okay, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Till I got my stuff together. So within this time of meeting him, you know, I did develop feelings for him. I did start to like him. And, you know, I was just like, you know, I mean, I was young, very much infatuated, you know, but let's get to the actual interesting part of the story, because y'all need to know this. So first off, this man got me to make a OF account. I'm not going to say it too loud because I don't want to get banned. And in the process of making that, my email was not working, and he was like, oh, we can use mine. And I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine with me, you know what I'm saying? You know, he was like, oh, we'll just change it later. So I was like, all right, cool. So we make it. I put in my banking information. At the time, I did not have a bank. I was using like Chime and Cash App and things like that, so I put my Chime account on there. So right, we open up the account, we get everything going, and I go in there and I open up the account one day. Mind you, when I didn't have like two-factor authentication or anything like that, once I had created that account with his email, I could not go back in there and change anything. And I found out like a day or two later, or actually the same day, I think it might have been the same day, I think I had found out that he had changed the banking information to his. So me personally, I did what any smart person would have done. I made another account and I didn't tell him about it. So I had two OnlyFans accounts, and I was promoting it on my other ex account that he didn't know, also that he didn't know about. So within the course of that time, within July alone, which is when I made the account, by July 24th, which is the end of the month, I made that account on July 1st. I had made over $5,000, which I did not receive. Which brings me to the next point. I did not gain access to that account until I left him November 28th. I moved out, packed all my stuff, and I left. Because he was very disrespectful to me, yelled at me on the game in front of all his little friends, and thought I wasn't gonna leave. Like, I had enough. And on top of withholding money from me, now if you want to know the exact amount, from July 1st, 2024 to November 28th, November 28th, 2024, he had taken $21,086 from me, okay? I'd never seen that money, never did. I had a separate account, like I told you, that I was making money off of, but I never saw the money from that original account that was meant to be mine, right? And I admit I was, you know, that was kind of dumb of me to, like, you know, not do nothing about it. But in his claims, he claims, mind you, because we did move out of the homeboy's house or whatever, and moved into our house, and it was just me and him. He claimed he was paying the bills. Mind you, I only stayed there for 2.5 months, right about 2.5 months. In 2.5 months, you're not going to spend $21,000 on anything. Not no rent, no light bill, no electricity. Then on top of that, I ended up getting furniture for my room. We had separate bedrooms, but I actually really slept in his room. But I had my own separate bedroom, you know. We'll get into that later though. But within that time, you know, he can't even say that when I did end up moving out and leaving, I asked him for my furniture back. and that'll be in another video. But I asked him for my furniture back, and he was like, no, you can't have it back, I bought it. So only thing I had with me when I moved out was the clothes that I brought with me to Texas, shoes, and any other personal belongings. But I had none of my furniture because he refused to give me my furniture because he bought it. Anyways, so next thing is I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, so I moved out, left, whatever. But while I lived with him, this man brought multiple, and I mean multiple females over. And you know what they was doing. Use your common sense. If you don't have none, please use it. But yeah, within that time, I will say he was emotionally abusive, seeing as he got mad when I would go to another man's house, but never ever had enough respect to not bring women to the house. So apparently I paid bills there, right? Because he was taking all my money and saying he was using it for bills. Bringing women to the house that I paid for with me and him, but I was not allowed to bring men over. But he was allowed to bring any woman he wanted, but he was also allowed to get mad at me for going to another man's house. Absurd, right? I honestly cannot believe I sat there and dealt with that. Okay, we've grown now though. So on top of that, it was one time I didn't answer his phone calls. I actually asked him, I said, hey, do you want to come to a movie with me? He refused. He didn't want to come. Okay, end up going to the movie, end up getting out the movie. He was calling me, I wasn't answering, assumed I was with a man. I came home, that man was outside waiting for me in the driveway. I went up to the house, went up to my room, got in my room. He was visibly mad, and he just talking, just mad, because he thought I was with a man, and I wasn't. And he ended up snatching my phone from me, because I ended up getting on my phone, because I don't want to freaking hear that. You bring a bitch here. Oh, I can't say that, but you bring females here over and over again, but get mad when you think I'm with a man and I wasn't, and I offered to let you come to the movies with me. Oh, isn't that absurd and crazy? Like, what? But he snatched my phone out of my hand. Then I tried to leave the room. He told me I couldn't leave the room. And also, I can't tell y'all the amount of times this man threatened to kick me out of the house if I went to another man's house. That was a rule at one point. If I went to another man's house and spent the night, I could go live with him. That's what he told me. But I pay rent in that house, apparently. Right? Because he's taking all my money. Right? He didn't want y'all to know that, though. So yeah, the phone snatching. He was very possessive. Y'all didn't know that either. Y'all just was on the internet thinking whatever. He was a very possessive man. I couldn't do anything. I really couldn't have friends without him assuming that I was doing something. And I'm not gonna lie, I had been with other men during the period of time I was with him, only because he was with other women. And my mama didn't raise no fool. I'm not stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? What? You know what I'm saying? But it's okay, cool. So yeah, all of this came about though, because I personally have had enough. I have other stuff like, him lying to me. He would get mad that I would lie about certain things to him, but would turn around and lie in my face. He's lied to me multiple times, including wearing protection with other women while me and him was like that. You know what I'm saying? Lied to me, talking about, oh, we do. No, he didn't. So ladies, if y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all messing with that man like that, go get checked. I ain't gonna lie, go do it. Please do it. But yeah, and then on top of that, what else? He messed with both of my friends that came with me to Texas. They ended up moving to back to Florida. Messed with both of my friends. Both of them. Yep. But yeah, that's the story. That's like everything y'all didn't know. And I'm gonna make a separate video, a part 2, where I'll show y'all all the rest of the messages that back up all my claims. But yeah, I was tired. Like, also another thing, I told him to take all those videos of me and him down off of OF or whatever. He didn't. So this is where all this is coming from. You're not gonna, you can't do something simple for me. So I'm just gonna put it all out there for everybody else to know. And apparently, he's fucking a man. Yeah. It's cause I told him to take my videos down. He gonna go post another video with a male creators tag or whatever. So yeah, I guess he's with a man now. you know. But yeah, story of my life. Don't do what I did, and yeah, be aware. Be aware, you know. That's all I really have to tell y'all. I'm glad that everybody came to this tea session, you know. Anybody who listened. Might be on my little rant, whatever, but there will be a part 2 to this, okay? Just stay tuned. Alright, bye. Alright, so this is part 2 of the video I just made, and this is me coming with receipts, you know what I'm saying? So y'all, this right here is the original message. Here's a message where he actually tells me no. Like I told you, I had no access to none of that money. So here you go, you know, you can read. Like I was like, since we, you know, let me change the info on my, you know what I'm saying? He's talking about no. And I don't have no, after I said why, he actually came in the room to talk to me and apologize because I'm pretty sure he didn't want to lose my account that he was making money off of, okay? Here's one of the occasions where he tried to throw me out the house, you know, basically using the fact that I, you know, really couldn't go nowhere against me. Talking about some, telling me to go back to Florida, talking about some, we gonna find you an apartment, you know, all that. You know, that's one account. This is him again telling me, oh, you need to go back to Florida and stuff like that. Like you might have to go back, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, mind you, I was exploring, you know, getting into content creation with other creators. And I had hit up this specific creator that I said no, I didn't want to collaborate with. But then I was like, you know what, why not? He got mad about it. Mind you, I told you this man was possessive. Come on, you can go back to Florida, you lie about everything. Like he didn't lie to me several different times. This is him when I went to the movies. Like I said in the last post, I went to the movies and he thought I was with a man and I wasn't. I went by myself. And talking about something, you keep ignoring me. This is when I came home and I found him in the driveway waiting for me. I'm guessing maybe he thought I was going to be with a man and I wasn't. I was just in my Uber. This is me explaining to him that he needed to, you know, give me my information for my account. And on many accounts, I was scared to ask him because I was scared he would delete my account and I would have no way to make money and I would be stuck in Texas, seeing as I really did not have any family here. So he ended up giving my account back or whatever the case may be. But this is me where I asked him for my things and he told me no, because he bought it, right? He bought it with his money, but I still ain't seen mine. But yeah, guys, that's all the information y'all need to know. You know what I'm saying? In case he tries to come up on here and say I'm lying, which I never did. Never lied to this man. Always been pretty truthful. I just wanted him to take into account my feelings, which he never did. And I, you know, like I said, I was young. I probably should have known that that man did not give a about my, you know, about how I felt, you know, honestly. And I'm really personally glad that I got myself out of the relationship. And also, before y'all ask, this is not his baby. It's not, okay? But yeah, I'm glad I got myself out of that situation. Like, I keep having people ask me, how do I feel about his new girlfriend? I could give two lessons. I don't care about that girl. Honestly, how I feel is that I personally escaped. Like, that's how I really felt. I dealt with a lot of emotional abuse. I have never in my life cried so much over a man, like, ever. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with that, you know, plenty of him saying, like, oh, I'm not gonna, you know, fuck you no more and stuff like that. Like, you know, him saying that to me, telling me that, calling me a hoe while he's out here, you know, fucking on all these women, bringing them to the house. Baby, if you thought you was the only one, you weren't. You're not. You never were. And never did I think that either, because he brought it, you know, it was in my face, you know. And like I said, I had also been with other people, but I tried to give him, you know, he would get mad at me and then he would stop bringing people over and then he would start doing it again. You know what I'm saying? Very hypocritical, you know. But, you know, that's it. That's, you know, everything that y'all really needed to know. You know, hopefully, you know, some of y'all might hate me. Some of y'all might call me a clout chaser. Who cares? I was known before him. You know, I just got a little bit more popular because of him. But, yeah, I really hope y'all heed my message and listen to my side of the story. I don't know if he's gonna make a video or what. But honestly, I'm just tired. I'm really tired and fed up. And honestly, it's not fair on my part that no one ever heard my story and he's out here making me look bad. So, yeah, guys, that's it. Have a nice day. Oh, and for y'all saying, like, why didn't you just switch, make another email? like I explained in the video, if y'all really didn't actually listen to it, once you make an email, you can't go back in there and change anything without like confirmation that you're trying to change a password, an email, banking information, any of that, without it going through his email. So if I would have tried to have done that, it would have popped up. It would have shown like, oh, she's trying to do this or that. You know what I'm saying? And all of this, like I said, like, you know, when you're living with someone and you don't really have another place to go for real, you're not gonna, you know, you're gonna try and, you know, not make the person angry or, you know, make them do anything that would possibly damage your only way of, you know, income. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me. And also for the people who was like, oh, you thought you were gonna be better than one of his exes. I never thought anything. I never said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all go through life. Not all men are better. You know what I'm saying? You know, everything didn't go bad at first. You know, it just started to get bad later on and down the line. And, you know, I was just like, one point I was just like, yeah, it's time for me to go. But, yeah, like I said, you know, I was young. And for the person who also said I'm still young, that was only a couple months ago. Within a couple of months, you can mature and you can learn from life lessons on things that you probably should never do again. And, you know, it was definitely a hard lesson to learn or whatever the case may be, but that doesn't mean come on here and criticize me. You know, like I said in my live, like, just be glad I left. You know what I'm saying? It's grown women older than me who stay in relationships like that for years. Like, those 5 months could have easily turned into a year or 2 years of him taking all the money I ever earned. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm personally, like I said, I'm glad that I left, but today was just my breaking point. You know what I'm saying? I asked something of him, he ignored me, so I had enough. You know what I'm saying? So he can keep putting all that stuff up there, but like I said, at the end of the day, there's no way to come on here and defend none of that stuff I just told y'all. Like, you can't defend taking money from someone. You can't defend emotionally damaging somebody. You can't defend telling somebody, you know, every time they go out, oh, you about to go mess with a dude. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even said that. He literally said, you about to go fuck your nigga, ain't you? Like, every time, like, that's what I had to deal with. Every time. Like, I didn't have friends. I didn't go out because I was afraid of what he was going to say. Imagine being afraid of what a man's going to say every time you try to do something. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being scared that you're going to be homeless because he thought you went to go be with a man, or he told you not to go stay with a nigga and you did, or you hang out with a man, anything of that kind of sort. Like, you know, and people who have been through something like that will understand. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm glad that I left and that I, you know, escaped. I'm not jealous of the new girlfriend or nothing like that. You know, there's nothing to be jealous of, especially when you know what I've been through. There's nothing to be jealous of. There's nothing to hate or envy, you know, in that. I don't envy that at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's my last time saying anything about this. You know, it's just a learning lesson for me and myself. You know, I just have to grow. But y'all have a good day.
Then she exposes texts that he sent her after she exposes him.
I guess it's not funny when the tea is about you. How you mad that I'm speaking facts? Yeah, I'm speaking on you, and I have the right to. Free will. I forgot I have free will, matter of fact. Don't forget that. But yeah, that's what he had to say. Baby, I'm very much focused. You want to talk about me and my one baby daddy? Bitch, you got 4 baby mamas. Please get your life together. Huh. I'm so done. I'm so tired of being a nice... I'm so tired. Like, I'm so freaking tired. And the fact that you sit up here, like, you text me that, I'm ungrateful. What was there to be grateful about during our relationship? Yes, I will say, like, yeah, you did do something nice for me, but all that nice shit quickly went out the window when you took my money. You didn't kick me out, but you literally told me, oh, just go, you can leave. Yeah, no, I don't find it funny at all that I could have got a disease because you wanted to fuck around with multiple women. Never told nobody we was together. Never said that. Made that very clear. Yeah, now you don't want to answer me back because of what I just said? Like,
Thanks again for watching, and before you go, please do me a favor, like and subscribe so you won't miss out.